All right, I'm recording another Crimson Capsule Savant compilation video, and I call it Crimson Castle because I don't want to get struck down for using the actual title. All right, here we go. I really like this channel. Forces me to think. All right, I guess you have to do 20 push-ups if you were attracted to the girl at the beginning of this video, which you'll be able to see after I put the link in there. I don't know what worth women think they have anymore.
Cheated? Yes. Why? What happened? Because nothing happened. I just got bored. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why you'll never be happy and you'll never be able to find a husband because you get bored easily. That excuse probably never even crossed a woman's mind 70 or 80 years ago. But you're all entitled now, and girl power and feminism and rah, even though you're destroying yourself.
How about you? Yes. What happened?
And most of them are going to cheat on you, but they're not going to do it until that guy is ready to commit to them, so that when they leave you, they won't have nobody to go to after. It's bullshit, but what are you going to do?
Interest was quick. Yeah, so I visited University of Florida, but I'm seeing someone at home.
And the fact that they're proud of it and bursting with glee is the reason why you should stay away from them outside of the old horizontal polka, as Steve Urkel used to call it. Aww.
I cheated on my boyfriend. They get money, they car, they house, their energy, their motivation, waste their time,
Go to the gym.
Have you ever cheated?
At minimum, it's a temporary antidepressant. All these whores are talking about is how much they enjoy cheating on their boyfriends. Pure class.
If you want to go to Vegas and go do girls' night and all this other stuff, that's absolutely fine. Do it. I think the man should not emotionally say, that's fine. I thought you took us more seriously. And if you want to go on a girl's trip, so be it. I will not get mad. I will not cry. I will not get angry with you because I will never show you emotion. But I do not date women that I take this seriously that want to go on girls' trips. And I mean that with respect. You can go if you want to. I'll let you go. But I cannot.
Nobody can stop you from going on a girls' trip from Vegas, or to Vegas. But that doesn't mean we have to tolerate the disrespect, because we know you're not going to Vegas to gamble. And we know you're not going to, well, you might be going there to strip, but more likely you're just going there to party and fuck a bunch of guys because you don't have any respect for us whatsoever. And then you expect to come home and have everything normal like it was before, because that's how greedy and entitled you've become. Makes me want to puke. And why would you go to Vegas anyway? Just to piss away your life savings? There used to be a video on YouTube of a guy who was forcing himself over the cliff of Niagara Falls faster because he had just lost his life savings at a casino. I don't know, it got taken down. I don't remember. Last time I checked, it was Niagara Falls suicides, and the guy was just swimming to get over the side, so he just... I don't know what the point of gambling is.
Take you seriously any longer as a serious relationship.
But if she goes on a girl's vacation, even though you know why she's going,
a lot of experience,
get rid of her.
That any woman that loves a man has actually no problem with that. In fact, I believe that if you genuinely love a man, you don't even want to go.
I don't even want to go.
That I'm 46 years old and I don't have a husband to take care of me.
It's so sad.
I don't have a husband to
But y'all so independent though, right?
help me.
You had 25 years to find a husband and you decided not to because feminism told you that being a whore was a fantastic idea. You know, the reason why depression in women is higher than it's ever been is because instead of listening to men and what we actually want, you let fat unattractive lesbians tell you what we want. And for some reason in your mind that makes sense. And if I'll never understand any part of a woman, it's that part.
Women have completely different life goals and instincts to men. I have it all the time. I get a chick or whatever, and she says, I wish you didn't work so much. Why are you always busy? Why are you always working? That's the only reason you were even attracted to me. They try very, very hard. They're very, very clever.
And another thing, since Andrew Tate, who's been banned on social media, makes a fantastic point here. You cannot complain that a man makes too much money and simultaneously complain that he's never home because he's out trying to make the money that you say he's not making enough of. There's no justification for cheating on him when it's not a plausible scenario for you to be the victim in this situation. Either he can make enough money and be home more, or he can make more money and not be home as often. He's not goddamn Superman. He can't go into a phone booth and But anyway, that's why I have to include the links because I end up going off on these tangents I never see coming.
Nice meals, they're warm, and they're all like, baby, you don't have to go, don't go, Jim, stay here with me. It's kind of amazing. If you allow a female to impose her will on you as a man, no matter what she says, how it's going to make you.
I don't give a fuck if it's your mother. If you don't want to do it or you think it's a bad idea, you say it. And you say it sternly so that you get the point across the first time. No, Felicia, nobody wants you here. Get the fuck out.
You have to be an iron frame. You have to be resilient.
For teenagers in particular, life is going to kick you in the face thousands and thousands of times. And that's not even the part that matters. The part that matters is if you get up after every single kick to your face. I would have probably become one of the Columbine kids in high school, but I survived because I was able to treat every day of high school like a prison sentence that had a release date. I'm not saying that's how you should approach life. That's just what I had to do to get through that particular situation. So what I'm telling you is find a productive way to stand up after getting kicked in the face, and your life won't be as miserable and frustrating as it could be.
Don't smash her best friend. Smash the girl her ex cheated on her with.
That's a bit dirty. That's a bit dirty.
I know that a guy would be so lucky to date me, aka I am the prize.
Men are the prize, and they always will be the prize. And there's a reason for that. And it's painfully, hilariously ironic. The reason why men are the prize is because we're the ones who lose everything in divorce court when you finally decide to divorce us. So our standards are actually more important than yours, and they always will be. And you know why? Because you surrendered to feminism, and now men don't give a fuck about what you want anymore because you don't have anything to offer anyway. So if we ask you what your body count is and you get mad, it means you're useless and you know it, and it has nothing to do with misogyny, which isn't real because being a female is a social construct.
And it's because of the scarcity of good guys.
Wait a second. So you're saying you're the prize with no reason. You're just saying you're the prize because good men are scarce. How does that make any sense? If good men, high value men, are hard to come by, that would make them the prize. Just based off your own argument, that would make them the prize. That doesn't just make you by default the prize. Saying that you're the prize is such a toxic way of thinking, right? So in a good, healthy relationship,
And you're not even close to a prize if you have a body count when I meet you, because if you have a body count when I meet you, that means I'm just the guy you're settling for. And I don't know how old some of you are, but homie, don't play that. I have dignity. I don't deal with that shit.
guess what?
anymore.
You're each other's prize. You're not the prize, neither is he. You're each other's prize to one another.
Used to be.
And I have a man, and he was 100% faithful to me, and he was everything that I asked for. He was funny, smart, successful, with a big dick.
Them be out here creating super niggas in their mind. They don't
Even if the idea of men stepping up weren't painfully comical to think about, we still wouldn't be able to do it because your standards are both impossible and nonsensical simultaneously, and you don't even realize it. And I just gave you an example of that earlier with the more time at home thing.
be looking at the niggas right in front of them. That's the difference between men and women. We see you, we hear. Right. Women down here think it's a unicorn nigga.
So instead of being impossible to deal with, maybe find a man who actually wants to have a family, because those men are going extinct thanks to the family courts, which feminism also destroyed. God, so much progress. I can actually feel the progress, like absorbing into my system. It's astounding.
There is a lot of money. We can't have a lot of money. Take it right. Long there is a lot of money.
Here are a list of things I expect men to pay for if we're dating.
I don't care what you think about anything when you look like Aunt Jemima who just had a stroke.
Number one, all dates. And I don't mean dinner dates. I mean kayaking, snorkeling, going to theme parks, ziplining, etc. I expect the man to pay for all that. Number two, my nails. I get my nails done.
You're always strong and independent until that check comes at the dinner table.
Roughly once a month. That's pretty good for me, so I expect him to pay that. Number three, my hair. I just feel like as a girl, I should just not walk around with my hair.
Seriously.
And you should pay for it.
Seriously.
Number four.
Remember that show Dinosaurs? Remember what the father looked like? That's what this oppressed woman of color looks like. Looks exactly like him. I mean, well, she would if that wasn't a racist thing to say, but you understand.
I just think that's just like the masculine thing to do, is to make sure that my gas is always on full.
And the feminine thing to do is to not be a feminist. But that's sexist and misogynist and ableist and everything.
Number five, wax. I feel like that's pretty much self-explanatory. Like, you should just pay for my wax.
All right, I don't care what this fat pig has to say.
This dude only posts W. Make sure to go check out his content. But that is both a great mentality and a terrible mentality to have at the same time. It is legitimately a good mentality, and that keeps pushing me forward most of the time. To know that no matter what you're going through, that there is definitely someone going through something far worse than what you're going through.
About that, you know what happens to people who when I was growing up, I would try to talk to people about my problems. When I was a kid, I would try to talk to adults about it. And all they would ever do is dismiss my problems by saying that there's always somebody who has it worse than you. And the problem with doing that to children is that they start to keep their problems bottled up until they don't talk about them anymore, because you couldn't be bothered to raise them properly. And then, after so many years of keeping their problems bottled up inside of them, they either snap and off themselves, or they snap and they take people with them. So, good job, parents of the 80s and early 90s, and probably today.
And to be appreciative of the things that you have in life.
Yes, be appreciative of the things that you have in life. But if you're having problems, and you know they're not trivial problems, find somebody who cares about them and talk about them.